Hi friends, today we're going to be talking about foundational skills. We're on lesson 1. So the phonics sound we're going to focus on for this week is the R-controlled vowels. What is an R-controlled vowel? Well, let's move our eyes to the rule card here that I'm circling, and let's read. An R following a single vowel. What does single mean? It means just one. So we have the one vowel. So it's an R following a single vowel, and it changes, so that's important, it's changing the sound of the vowel. This R is often called a bossy R. So it has another name of being a bossy R. So examples of that would be car, fern, bird, corn, fur. As you can see in the word car, that A is no longer making either the A or the A sound. It's now saying with the bossy R, R. So looking here at this poster, there's all the different types of bossy R's that we can see with the different vowels. So which one will we be focusing on for this week? Well, it is going to be the UR. So the UR makes the sound, the sound. But what's special about UR is that it has different types of spelling patterns. So I know we've done this before during the school year. This is more of a review to kind of make sure that it stays stuck in our minds, and then we can remember that, which also helps us with our spelling. So looking here, we see the sound can be spelled with ER, and that's, for instance, in the word her. So we have her, like that is her ring. So it's having that sound. Then we see it in IR. Change out our color here. So we have it in IR. And in IR, we see that in the word bird. And there we see the IR, and it's making the sound. Then we move along and we see the UR, which is just like the way it sounds. And we see that in the word turtle, turtle. And right there we can see we have the UR spelling pattern. And lastly, we have the letters O and R, which is also making the sound. And it's all the way here we see the word motor. And we see the OR, which is making the sound, motor. So we have more examples here. We see the word burn, which has the UR, chirp, IR, clerk, ER, and then herd, another ER. And those are all still making the sound, but with different spelling patterns. So that's the lesson on our phonics sound. Make sure you're looking through, because remember we learned during school time that these phonics sounds are all around us. So look at your Charlie book, look at any other choice book that you might be reading, and see if you can be kind of, as the week goes on, making a list of all these sounds with the spelling patterns ER, IR, UR, and OR. So that concludes our phonics sound lesson. But we're moving on because we also talk about structural analysis. So our structural analysis that we're going to be discussing this week are, well, first of all, what is a structural analysis? Well, that's just basically the structure of a word and kind of knowing the different structures of the different word parts that we may have in a word. So we're going to be focused on this week on the prefix and a suffix. What's a prefix? What's a suffix? Good question. So let's look here at this little puzzle piece. We have a prefix. A prefix starts at the beginning of a word. So you may have a prefix at the beginning of a word. Of course, not all words have prefixes, but the structure of it would be a prefix goes at the start of a word, a suffix goes at the end of a word, and the word that is being changed, we consider that a root word. So let's look at some examples here. So here we have a little chart and it talks about how they come at the beginning, a prefix does, and it does change the meaning of a word. So a prefix can change the meaning. So let's say you had the word cover. Cover would be your root word. Now we added the prefix un. So now you get the word uncover. And uncover has now changed the meaning. Cover means to actually be put up a blanket on you, right? You're going to cover yourself. Now, if you put the prefix un, it now means to take it off, to uncover yourself. So we see how the prefix does change the meaning of the word. So moving on to some suffixes here. They are at the end of a word. So here are some examples in blue of the different types of suffixes we may have. There are more, but here are some of the basic ones. It's just adding an S, adding an ES. And we know it changes the meaning because we learned it's making a word plural, okay? So, or it's showing that it's happening now. So we can say the word character. I saw one character in this chapter, but the next chapter, has two characters. It's now talking, it's changed the meaning from not just one character, but now to two, more than one. It can also make the verb that you're talking about happening now. So reach. I will reach for that new cup on top of the shelf. But now she reaches. It's happening at that moment. So it's changing the meaning of that word. And we see different endings like ed, ing, and we know ed talks about in the past. Ing is something that's happening at that moment as well. She is walking to school. And then we have the different endings. So I move along. And here, once again, we have a couple more examples of a prefix, and then the root word, and the suffix, and then the new word it makes. So these words are kind of interesting as they have a suffix, but they also have a prefix at the beginning as well. So we see this word is pre-planning. The root word was the word plan, and then it added a prefix and a suffix to get pre-planning. So plan means like I'm going to plan something, and then pre-planning would be I'm going to plan something before it actually happens. You're going to go even before the whole initial activity. You're going to pre-plan it out. And then if the ing is at the end with your suffix, that means it's happening at that moment. You are pre-planning now. Okay. So look at some of these, study them. I would say maybe pause our video, look at them carefully. There is a little bit of a game here you can play. So I know my video is covering up some of that game, but you look here, you can have a dice, you can kind of change the rules. Just kind of an example of something you could do. So for instance, if you have a dice at home, you might roll your dice and you might get the one on your dice. So you can look here and it says list as many words as you can. So it might be like you're looking for a lot of re, so it might be a lot of words that begin with re, that prefix, or it could be you're looking at the suffix part of it and now you're looking for ing words. So it's up to you with that. I would stick with basically with activity 1. And then just when you get the different numbers, then you're looking for maybe if it's 4, miss words if you're doing the prefix part of it. If you're doing the suffix, you're looking for the full part. So to start us off, I would say work on activity 1, and that's just going to give you your basic knowledge of coming up with different words that have these different prefix and different suffix endings. So stick with activity 1 for now. and you're looking to see all these different words you can come up with when you roll that dice. All right, guys, have fun time learning our foundational skills. Once again, watch the video over again if you need that extra help. And then don't forget to complete the assignments as the week goes on. So look at your teacher's Padlet, and then you know exactly what needs to be completed for the week. All right, guys, have a fun time. Bye.